All right, this is my psychopath face life.
Wow. Hello everyone, this is Nehal Shukla from Team Adgully, and today with me I have a famous actress, model, content creator, and a social media influencer, Anisha Dixit, who is also once famous as Rickshawali. Welcome, Anisha.
Thank you so much for having me, Nehal. I'm so happy to be here.
You're most welcome. So, Anisha, I want to know, but before we begin anything, I want to know how did God create Anisha Dixit? What was the amount of water that He used to create you?
एक तो बहुत सारा पानी यूज हुआ था, lots of water was used. So I think if I can sum it up approximately, it was, when you come to content creation, बहुत एक बड़ी बाल्टी डाली है, बहुत पानी गया है. Then by making psychopath videos, वापस एक बाल्टी डाली है. Then by confusing people with my hey videos, वापस एक बाल्टी डाली है. And eating spicy food, बस एक drop पानी डाला है, because I was born in Germany, so I'm not very fond of very spicy food. That's Anisha Dixit. There you go.
Okay, so speaking about your hey videos, how many people have
Hmm.
actually come to you and asked कि क्या था वो video? What is that actual word?
A lot, Nehal. The thing is, 70% of people somehow never get those videos. मेरे DMs ना भरे रहते हैं, like thousands of DMs I get every time I upload a hey video. And everybody asks me कि क्या है, बताओ बताओ. यार कोई तो ऐसे लोग भी हैं who give like गाली देते हैं मुझे कि ये अभी बता, tell me now what is the answer, otherwise I will do. I'm like, my God, I didn't know people will take it so serious. But the funny thing is, that there's always a logic behind every of my hey videos. Many people keep telling me, ki, oh, you're just making a random video. No, there's always a connection to every hey video. Like I'll give you a quick example. There was this hey video I made recently where a person comes with like, dhua. And then there's another person. No, sorry. There was a person who's coming, who's going, and he's like laughing and stuff. Suddenly you see the person with dhua. And then the other person is like the laughing with the dua. So it was basically like, Mumbai people were making fun of Delhi people कि हमारे यहाँ pollution नहीं है. फिर Delhi वाला बोलता हाँ अब तुम्हारे यहाँ भी pollution आ गया. So it's kind of like that. But many people always presume कि there is no logic. But there's always a logic. And मेरे DMs भरे रहते हैं बहुत सारे questions के साथ. So that's so much to my hey videos. Confusing people all the time.
No, but it's interesting sometimes to watch, but even I am confused. Ki,
Oh,
okay,
you
what
are?
was that? Then I check your story the next day or the day you post that. Okay,
See, so,
this.
so that's the whole thing, right? So what happens is many times people check the answer in the comments, like so many, and if they still don't find and understand it, then eventually I have to make a story and I have to disclose what was the answer. But it many times people hopefully find it in the comments, but sometimes they don't.
Most of the time, it's understood that okay, this is what the take is on.
I know, and then sometimes also feel you should leave people confused. You don't have to give everybody the answer. Spoon feed नहीं करना चाहिए ना. So sometimes it's better, but worst case में of course story हमेशा डालते हैं. There's always a logic, always.
There's always a logic, for sure. So, from you, I want to know how did it all start from Rickshaw Wali to now that you are creating so many content videos? How everything started for you?
So it started a long time ago. If I won't go into the like length of it because बहुत लंबी कहानी है. मैं basically 10 इस साल it'll be 10 years for me as a content creator. So
Wow,
I
a
have
great
started.
journey.
Yes, actually it is. It's quite surprising. I started in 2013, as a YouTube creator back in the days, long form content. But see, originally, मैं quickly ये बताती हूँ. See, I'm born and brought up in Germany. So I'm not from India. Of course, parents हैं India के ही है. But फिर भी मैं पैदा हुई थी Germany में. So I came to Mumbai to become a Bollywood actress. That was the original dream. And I came here, बहुत सारे auditions भी दिए थे. And but somehow, it despite all my efforts, it never really worked out. But then later I realized I was not meant to be for that path wasn't for me. So then I sat in a rickshaw, took some selfies and videos, and very random. You know how girls like to take pictures of themselves. So I did the same thing in a rickshaw. It was a pink rickshaw. And then I came home and I showed my then boyfriend, who's now my husband. And I showed him, hey, see this is so cool. And he was actually the one. He's like, oh, this is so cool. You should do something with it. Rickshaw wali. And I'm like, what? What rickshaw wali? I don't understand. He's like, and he just said that. And uske baad, I was like left on my own, and I had to figure out my own way. What is with the small information, what I'm going to do, and then that is how I, just thought and experimented. Went out to find rickshaws, literally like a startup. When you have just a glimpse of an idea and you want to make something out of it, how do you do it? Experiment, you try, you go. So that's why I went out. I went to rickshaw walas. I asked them to give me your rickshaw, and I put my stuff in the bag as a decoration, and I hang my phone in the middle of the rickshaw so that I could look into the camera. And that's how I just started speaking into it without knowing anything of how I'm going to do this. But then I uploaded it, then nobody watched it, then 10 people watched it. And I'm like, oh my God, I've arrived. No, of course. But for an actor who goes to auditions, and waits for the casting director or the producer to make the decision for you. Suddenly I realized, oh, I'm my own, I can make my own destiny. I have my own audience. See, at that point, you didn't really know ki that could be something, because if that profession doesn't exist yet in India, right? So I just still tried. I'm like, if there's 10 people who will watch it, by the way, those were my friends and family only watching, huh? Not any other people. But still, it was those 10 people that motivated me, ki, hey, no, this can be something. So that's how it started. I put my first video up, then my second and third, and that's been 10 years now. I've been still uploading. Now it's on Instagram. I make a lot of more reels now. Of course, I do YT shorts as well, but Instagram is like short form content is my main content now. That's what Rickshawly, that's how it all started. Now, And I hope I tried to put 10 years into a very short time. I could explain all of it.
A 2 minute thing.
Okay, amazing.
So, since you said that from Rickshaw Wali, where you used to put YouTube content, now you put it over Reels, how do you see the content economy evolved in the past decade?
Insanely evolved. I mean, I can tell you from 2013 to 2023, we are now literally 10 years. It has evolved, like completely changed. Back then, there was no content creators, there was no brands advertising digitally. They didn't even understand what it was, to now a scenario where almost every brand is online. There are so many content creators. So it has grown exponentially. I mean, even the pandemic has, of course, helped, right? Because suddenly everybody was on the internet and there's nobody had anything to do. A lot of people started becoming content creators, which is great for our economy, right? And brands realized, oh, we need to get to the audience. How do we do it? Oh, let's go to content creators, right? So it helped, it went hand in hand. And, the funniest thing which I'm realizing is that content creators are becoming more relevant now than even Bollywood actors to some extent. Because you will see that content creators have a way better community. They have a better connection with the audience, and that is also what brands was, right? What happens is that many Bollywood actors, they're not as relevant anymore. Of course, they have the huge numbers, they are big popular people, but you will see they won't have as much of a connection with the audience as we content creators have. So my thought is that you will see way more content creators becoming the face of the brands than Bollywood actors. That is what is going to happen, in my opinion.
Speaking of brands, what are the brands that you have collaborated with, or how do you select the brands that you want to be associated with?
So honestly, beginning with the Joby brand I used to do, I'll be honest, because in the beginning, I'm talking about 10 years, right? This wasn't a profession. So whatever monies came, I took because you had to survive. Of course, now my whole goal was always to, make very conscious decisions about which brands I want to work with. There I would, like, for instance, never work with an alcoholic brand. I would never work with, any cigarettes or anything that promotes, these kind of things. Because I'm a very conscious creator. I want to make sure whatever I put out there is, going to influence people in the right way. And that is just my feeling to it. I also don't drink. So I don't want to promote something I don't do myself. And then when it comes to brands, of course, like just worked recently with DC Comics. So I was promoting Wonder Woman, which is like, oh my God, I'm a huge Wonder Woman fan. And I also had gone to the Comic Con as Wonder Woman back in the day. So it was really great to work with them. Currently, I'm working with Harry Potter as well. So I'm doing something with them. There's so many different like Netflix, Amazon. There's so many brands I've worked with, of course. And so I always want to work with brands I love and I believe in and I associate with. So that's the brands I mostly choose for myself.
Okay, so has there any been a weird or an unusual experience while making content over the past years?
So many. It's been 10 years, Nehal. So I'll tell you, matlab, there are few, but I'll tell you one, which is I think many people, many content creators have maybe faced. So there was a moment when I was shooting, like, as a content creator, you shoot every day, everywhere. Um, and of course, taking permissions is a big deal. It's tricky, right? Because it's not like you're a big crew, right? You're just a few people and you have to quickly shoot something because it's trending right now. So you do it. So we went one day on the beach in Juhu and we were shooting something from like 6 a.m. in the morning. There was a very specific thing we were shooting and it took us a lot of time because it was very technical. So we were shooting it from 6 a.m. in the morning and we had dancers and stuff. And around 9 a.m. suddenly some police showed up and there was some very like not normal police people, like on a high rank police people, and they came and they saw us with we had a camera and all, and we were suddenly like, oh no, no, no. They came to us and we tried to hide it thoda sa because we didn't want ki, could problem aa jayega, right? And then they came and they asked कि क्या कर रहे हो क्या कर रहे हो. We were like, oh मतलब ऐसे मैं बोला कि नहीं कुछ shoot कर रहे थे. Then he actually wanted to delete all of that footage we had put in, and it's as a content creator it's a huge, like if you put in so much effort, they coming and just deleting would be like the worst thing for us. So eventually what happened is they took the camera. They didn't understand the interface, so they couldn't delete it, thank God. So we still had the footage, but that was like a very problematic situation, for such a weird situation, because you also don't want to offend the police people. And I also know maybe we should have taken permission, but then you also want to use that content which you shot now. So you don't want to get rid of it. So, anyways, we were saved, thankfully.
Thankfully.
Yes.
uh, so, what are your plans for 2023, the coming months? What more will you expand to, or what are the areas that you will be focusing more on as a content
See,
creator?
see, I think, there's many people who have so many plans, right? I think you ask anybody, everybody's like, oh, I want to have more views. I want to be more famous. I want to do this show. I want to do this OTT, do this movie, blah, blah, blah. Of course, that's my personal opinion. Nothing of that is wrong. And of course, whatever will come and go, that is great, right? So of course, there are plans, there are certain things I want to do. Content creation, I will always do. I will not stop until the audience says, "Bas ho gaya, Anisha, ab nahi dekhna hai." Until then, I will keep making content. That is so for sure. The most important thing apart from all of that, of course, there are other plans as well, bigger projects I'm working on right now. But I think the biggest goal that is there for me in 2023 and for the coming years is to just become more content and more happier. Um, and why I'm saying that is, because I've realized in the past 10 years that, things come and go, likes come, views come, they go, then something else is like now you have 1 million, now you want 10 million, then you want 20 million. And I realized, you can never find that contentness within you by chasing all of that. So, whatever comes and goes, my goal is just to always be content, be wiser, and, just be happy in what I'm doing. And I think that's my goal. And I wish that all the other content creators, everybody out there is going to seek the same goal.
Absolutely. And what is that one daily mantra that you have that keeps you going each and every day?
Nehal, I actually don't have a daily mantra as such, but I will tell you that I think for me, the number one mantra or thing that keeps me going is the fact that the reason why I started making content in the first place is to inspire people, influence them in a positive way, make them laugh, it was never about fame or money. I'll be really honest with you. And when I realized that I can change people's lives to some extent, even if it's just 1%. But that 1% is something that keeps me going every day. Every day I'm like, nahi yaar, I get DMs, where people like, thank you so much for sharing this. You made my day. I'm so happy. Thank you for helping me. Even when I'm on the street and the people approaching me tell me that, you really have helped me, in so many ways. I feel like, wow, that is like insane because मुझे तो लगा ही नहीं था this will happen, when I started 10 years ago. So that is something that keeps me going, that I can help people, that I can somehow give a positive change and, just inspire as much as I can. So every day I wake up, I feel that and it motivates me. Of course, ऐसे दिन भी आते हैं where you don't feel motivated, and if there are people out there who feel like that, कि I'm not every day motivated, that's fine. I feel, we push ourselves too much ki every day you need to be motivated, always be strong and, positive. That is not necessary. Dekho, agar in 100 days, there are 10 days like that, it's fine. Now, it's a problem if from 100 days, all the 100 days you're lazy and not motivated, that's a problem. So don't do that. So I think just try every morning, just try and, take every day with new energy and new excitement. That's what my mantra is, I guess. I hope that answers.
That's the perfect mantra, I believe.
Yes, exactly.
As we end this interview, I want to see your psychopath face.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. What were you saying?
As we end this
Huh.
video, this interaction, I would like to see your psychopath face one
My psychopath face.
time.
Of course. And they had anything for you. All right, this is my psychopath face live.
Wow.
Wow, wow. Now you have to zoom in and add some effects so it works and sounds the right way. Thank you so much, Nehal, for this.
Most welcome. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, thank you so much and lots of love. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Take care. Bye.